Welcome to Tea and Token Thursdays, where four toys gather together on Thursdays at 4 o'clock to talk about the world of j.r.r. Tolkien and beyond. Enjoy. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. You know who I am, and I hate all of you. Meow!
And I'm Humphrey. Guess what today is?
It's Thursday, Humphrey.
No, Amanda. You gotta wait for the punchline.
What punchline?
Come on. Well, come on. You gotta wait for the punchline.
What punchline?
The punchline is... Wait, Humphrey. What usually happens on Thursdays? We get to hit Thanos with a hammer. A hammer? That's right, folks. Thanos is gonna get hit with a hammer.
Actually, he got hit with Stormbreaker, courtesy of Thor. Yep. Last night we watched a YouTube video which claims that Thanos was pretty much hurt when Thor chose to hit him in the chest with a Stormbreaker.
Oh, that must have been pretty painful.
I mean, kind of towards the end of the movie, you saw Thanos limping as he looked out the window towards the sunset.
I don't know what happened. By him getting hit in the chest with a Stormbreaker?
Yeah. There's no way in all of the heavens you can walk away from that injury.
Yeah. And of course, when he snapped his fingers,
the gauntlet broke, and his left hand's probably all crippled up.
I know. I can imagine the doctor looking over saying, Like he looks Nebula and I says, I'm afraid your dad only has a few weeks to live.
And she'll probably say, good, I hate his guts. Okay, so that's Stormbreaker.
Yeah. And now we must teach you our theme song. Ready, Tierra?
Ready.
Ready, Kerry?
Ready.
Let's do this.
We are the toys,
and we're coming to get you, Thanos.
So you better watch out, because the toy Avengers are coming for you. We will slap you and we'll scratch your eyes out, and we won't stop until you choke to death. 'Cause we are the toy Avengers. Really? You mean you guys were behind that weird video that's on Instagram?
Yeah, we're singing about the Toy Avengers, because we are the toys. And we promise to sing that...
And we're going to keep singing that song until the next Marvel Cinematic movie comes out. And that's Captain Marvel.
I know. We've been singing that song for about
3 months now.
Right.
And Captain Marvel movie comes out in March of next year.
We're going to be singing that song forever.
Yep, and our fans will demand it.
And then, of course, we also have...
We are the toys. We're the fancy Avengers. And we're not going to stop fighting until Thanos is good and dead. We love the characters. And we really want to have them back. Especially those played by Benedict Cumberbatch. Really? Benedict Cumberbatch?
Well, he was Doctor Strange.
And we also remember, he was one of them token white guys. Oh, yeah. I remember watching that video about them token white guys.
And of course, as we said before, one was good and the other was bad.
Oh, I was terrified. When I saw Andy Serkis in the Black Panther movie, I was genuinely terrified. I'm like, oh my gosh, that what he looks like in real life? Oh my gosh, he looks like one of them crazy guys.
His character was insane. It's like he was the Joker and T'Challa was Batman. Which makes Everett Ross Commissioner Jim Gordon. I don't know why I said that, but
Okay, let's get to the subject at hand. It's called Where in Middle Earth is Middle Earth?
and we're gonna start with a new segment called We're in the Middle of this Middle Earth.
Let's start with the Shire, shall we?
Yes. What's in the Shire?
The story of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings begins and ends in the Shire.
Yes.
And once you figure that part out, everything else falls into place. The hobbits are more important than anyone else in the story.
Yeah. Well, the Hobbit center on Bilbo.
But Lord of the Rings center on Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin.
So these hobbits here ultimately
They ultimately decided the fate of all Middle Earth.
saw the Shire.
Yep, it's a very green, beautiful, out of the way area. It's more of a farming community.
Yeah.
It's like, think about the Amish.
Yeah. But the Amish,
They hold on to their traditional ways,
even though the modern world is modernizing in front of them. I'm pretty sure that a lot of them, that a good part of them, they all know what YouTube is, even if they don't use it.
Yeah. But imagine, hobbits live long lives. They come of age at 33, which is the human equivalent of being 21.
Okay.
They are inclined to have large families. And those who don't are branded as odd.
Which is not very nice for poor Bilbo. He had somebody, but stupid as I'll talk that opportunity away from him. Abuse to Azog.
What does abuse mean? That's Susie's word for saying shame on him. Yeah, it was like in that Black Panther chat. You were throwing out so many abuse, especially to that other guy.
Of course, he did something stupid and everybody paid for it. Well, hey. And then again, they have their reasons for keeping themselves hidden from the world. But that wasn't good enough when you have bad things happening and the world is counting on you.
Well, okay. So the Shire is kind of like Wakanda?
Wow, if the Shire were Wakanda, they would have had to, they would have built their whole Shire on vibranium.
Of course, the Baggins family would be extremely rich. And the Took families would probably be just as rich as they are.
I know. I mean, how do they make their money, though? I mean, who moves the money? And, so the Shire is a green land.
They build their houses into the ground. Well, of course, in a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit. That's how the story began.
Yeah. But, well, you know the Leonard Nimoy song?
Oh no, not the Leonard Nimoy song. Really, you gotta bring that up. Oh, is it the one where he says, in the middle of the earth?
Yeah, it goes, in the middle of the earth, in the land of the Shire, lives a brave little hobbit who we all admire. Like, no. We love you, Leonard Nimoy, but, that song.
So, basically, we started with the Shire. It's nice and big and green with lots of rolling hills.
Yep. The hobbits there.
It's mostly a farming community. Hobbits are inclined to have huge families.
And, those who don't are branded as odd. I don't think it was fair for poor Bilbo to be branded as odd. Especially since
he never had a partner.
Or a wife. He didn't have anyone. And now that we've seen a Hobbit, and then you go back and you watch how the Fellowship of the Ring began, well, I kept half expecting old Thorin to show up, shuffling along, and I'm walking around, and he's old. I'm pretty sure by then the hobbits would have gotten used to an old dwarf living among them. Which leads to the Great Shire Conspiracy, which is a whole nother can of worms in and of itself. We'll be discussing that later on. So, the story begins in the Shire and it ended in the Shire. And let us reiterate that there was one scene in the books that, well, Clifford wanted the Scouring the Shire to be in the movie, but we already had the Scouring of the Shire in the movie. Like, remember when Frodo looked into the mirror, Galadriel's magic mirror, and he saw what would have happened had he failed to destroy the ring? Oh, yeah. The Shire would have definitely been scoured. Yes. Thank goodness when they got back home in the movie, nothing happened. Yeah, the world just rolled on by them. And they had no idea. None. Well, by then, at the end though, the Shire prospered very much. Yeah, so the Shire prospered very much. It prospered. And of course, Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin were also responsible for a brand new baby boom. And most of the hobbits who were born when Frodo took over leadership of Hobbiton had blonde hair. Huh. Wow. That's interesting. But Bilbo, however, lost his love for the Shire when he went out and saw the mountains. He didn't want to see the mountains. No, he didn't want to see the mountains. He wanted to see only one mountain. He wanted to die and be with Thorin, where he was supposed to be. But Frodo, however, he loved the Shire. He loved life. He loved his life in the Shire. But why? But at the end, though, he did save the Shire. But he didn't do it for himself. He did it for other people. Yeah, and so he wanted, as much as he wanted to stay, he knew he had to go. But Merry, Pippin, and Sam helped rule over the Shire. And the population exploded, so they moved out. And now to this very day, there are hobbits found. There's still a secret land outside of civilization where hobbits live. Or don't forget, they love to smoke. One bad harvest and the hobbits went extinct. Okay, thank you very much, Amanda. We did not need to hear that. Or know that. Yeah, we didn't need to know that either. Oh, somebody's coming. Oh, Amelia, come on over. Hey, Susie. Hey, Amelia. Come on, we gotta get going. Jacqueline says quit playing with your friends, and because we gotta discuss the script. Right, you got the script ready? Yes, she has the script ready. We need to build the sets. Oh, I didn't know you were gonna be in a skit, Susie. Yes. Yeah, and it says if I'm lucky, I'm gonna be in a show, and I don't feel like being in a show. Oh. And I heard you guys talking about superhero songs, so I got one of my own. Oh, no. It goes something like this. I heard about what you went and did, and I don't approve of it. No, I don't. So tell them all that I'm coming over to teach you a lesson you won't soon forget. That's right. I come. What do you mean?
Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey, 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 I'm coming for you. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey, Thanos, I'm kicking your butt.
I love it.
Maybe we should put out an album called Superhero Toys.
Yes, which has the Toy Avengers theme song. The Toy Avengers Creed, where we play You'll Never Stop Fighting until we get our favorite characters back. And then we're gonna Captain Marvel warned Thanos that he's gonna get his butt kicked. Alright, you wanna close out?
Let me close out. Thank you all to everybody who joined in our little chat.
Yeah, it's all about the songs. Alright, and singing through the songs that we were singing, and listening to us talk a bit about the Shire.
Yep, but it's not over yet, because we still got the hobbits to talk about that live in the Shire.
Well, we already painted a picture.
Now, let's leave the audience wanting more. Till next week. And thank you to Amanda for guest starring. Hello.
And please write better jokes.
Okay, everybody. You know who I am and you know what this is about. So peace. Everyone saying awesome. And we'll see you tonight.
Meow.
Bye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Meow.